What is up, and welcome to your friendly, non-biased volunteer ran coverage of USPSA Nationals. I'm Kimball, and this is
Chris Tilley.
Chris Tilley. Have you slept yet?
I've slept pretty good.
It's about 4:30 in the morning of the match. Beautiful day, couldn't have asked for better weather. A little hot.
Sunny Florida, guys.
Absolutely. So tell me about the stage, Chris.
You know, it was most interesting stage of the day. Unfortunately, it was also the first, so you get the fun of the stage and the first stage jitters. It was a good stage for me. I was happy with it for the most part. Hard stage at the end. Really made it with that low port and the swinger.
Now, the technical deciding point in this stage for competitors seems to be transitioning through the middle position into that final low port. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that middle position was tight with that A zone. You know, you could easily have a miss on a 5-yard target because you're pushing through there like on a lean, moving shooting. There's a drop turner there with a couple no penalty misses that, you know, we decided to blow by. It was probably the same either way, but you had to work harder to keep it the same and shoot it.
Now, overall, as you look at your movement, obviously you've been training all year. Is this what you want to see after a season of training?
It's a little sloppy at the beginning. The end was a little bit better. I was happy with the steal. I had a makeup on that swinger at the end there. I hit the hard cover. I was happy with the run, to be honest with you, on pretty much everything. I was aiming. I dropped a few Charlies more than I wanted, but I was definitely aiming.
Now, I have to ask, do you think the tactical kill is going to make a debut in the scene next year?
No, I don't think so. I think some of the minor guys. I think it was good for the divisions that were shooting this match. I think it was good.
There's that kilt again. That's fashion, ladies and gentlemen. And here we have John Vlieger, Super Grand teammate. Big day for him. Now, John touts himself as a movement coach, and I will tell you what, his movement's definitely unique. What do you think about what he did on this stage?
Well, he really didn't try to move and shoot in that middle position. It was more, you know, rolling through a position versus actually moving on those 4 shots. Interesting position at the end there, huh?
Yeah, he took a wider stance than you did, but he got into that position quickly, so I'm not sure it hurt him, right?
Yeah, he got in it quick, but if you kind of notice, he kind of
big beating,
the guns,
you know, on purpose since 2015. Shot limited first, then transitioned to open into 15. Been loving it ever since. This stage was probably not directly in my strong suit, in my wheelhouse. The low ports generally I do okay on, but I hit that spot. I didn't hit my mark exactly, so when I came in, I wasn't far enough left. So the first 2 targets went great, easy acquisition, easy shots, easy calling the shot. But I tried to do the transition to the hardest target up close, and I was not far enough to be able to see the target. So wasted shots, wasted time, and very insufficient points on it. The rest of it went okay. I actually got the poppers when I came to the left like that, and I was really happy with that. Kind of surprised me, actually. And the rest of it went decent. I mean, clean up the hits, and if there's never a low port, focus on hitting my mark. That's where I left some points on the table.
So it's obvious upon inspection what happened at the end, but other than that, what do you think about John's movement in the beginning?
I think he overran the first position. You didn't have to go there because he ran farther than I did. And then he had to go back to where I was. I think that going down to that port, though, I just think he made that position harder than he was already hard enough. And then going in that kind of awkward stance that he went into made the shots harder, transitions harder, and it cost him.
Absolutely. And in all fairness, I think that this is a conservative Vlieger, you know, conservative representation of his movement. Generally speaking, he's even more explosive. So as we move on to Andrew, there's a lot going on with Andrew on this run. Do you want to start by talking about that?
The drama run?
Yeah.
Well, right off the bat here, he shoots a miss in the, you can see actually the black get chipped off the barrel there. But he had some issues right here at the very end where he didn't hit the activator. And a little bit of scoring issue and a little bit of, I'm not going to say he's twisting the RO's arm or anything like that, but he's twisting the RO's arm to making it like, well, you didn't tell me I had a miss, and got a reshoot on it. It's, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing because he would have ended up having the miss for the activator, the penalty for not activating the activator, the drop turner, and real penalties instead of no penalties for the turner. He had a miss on the swinger and a miss on the barrel. It's a big swing.
Right, so we just saw the reshoot. So the first run was the dramatic delivery of Andrew's
So
performance?
I've been in the sport since 2013, not actually all that long. This is my 4th year at Nationals, 3rd year on Super Squad. First stage is always, the most nervous one, getting it out of the way. There was not so great shooting on my part, but apparently there was a hit on an activator, and it didn't fall. They didn't bring it to my attention, and they did paint the hit, so it was they couldn't determine if it was painted, if it didn't fall. So at that point, if they can't determine it, it's a reshoot. So I'm gonna take the reshoot graces, and hopefully it turns out better than the first one.
So Andrew discussed his reshoot, and obviously the technicality involved is the painting of the popper and whether or not we could call a definitive hit. Now I know during his reshoot, obviously he performed much better than the first one. So do you think this is this relevant to your competition?
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's in the mix, and there was a 90-point swing. I mean, it's got nothing to do with Andrew or anything. It's got to do with you can't have stuff like that happen. It makes the sport look bad.
Right.
It belittles all of us.
JJ Rakaza. Sorry, had to fanboy for a second.
The razor's sharp over there. I mean, I understand.
Now, I will say Andrew's movement strikes me as slightly non-conventional as well compared to other guys that are competing at his level. Do you feel that way?
He doesn't. He likes to really go from spot to spot. He tries to roll through a position, but he doesn't really move and shoot much.
Okay.
Now you got a guy who likes to roll and move and shoot. You know, he tries to keep that weight going the whole time as well, but it's a lot more fluid.
Now, when's the last time you competed with JJ?
I think it might be a world shoot.
Have you noticed any significant improvements in his game?
Well, so far, 6 stages in his gun work, that's an improvement.
Now, he seems to handle that low port in a different way as well. What do you think about his strategy?
I actually like that strategy. I do think that it's harder
So just shot the
transition.
stage 1, or at least stage 1 for us, stage 3 for the match. But shot really well, started up pretty good, felt under control, and then I kind of slipped a little bit on that popper and made a makeup shot. It cost me about a second, but overall it was a good mistake that it happened early because it kind of woke me up and allowed me to see what I needed to see, or at least look for what I need to see in order to hit the target. So it's a good start. I'll take that. I think I'm either first or second, really close to first on this stage, and that's a good start for the match.
As you were saying.
Yeah. So the reason I chose my position the way I did is just the transition. Not that it was the fastest way to get down there, but the transition was faster down there. I thought that was more important just for that swinger, being able to track and really aim at that swinger.
Now, I will say that makeup shot on the top was costly.
It was.
Probably half second to second time, right?
Yep. Yep.
You finished the run significantly faster, and I wonder if it was, centric to the makeup.
Well, he got started right here. That makeup killed him as well. Right there.
Yeah.
He had a great start to the run. I mean, I don't know if you could ask for a better start. Very fluid, good transitions.
And I think there's something to be said for momentum, especially in these big competitions where nerves are everything. In his audio commentary, obviously JJ said he felt good after coming off that stage, and we'll see if it plays out.
Yeah.
Speedy Murdoch.
Yeah, man.
Great
Solid
guy.
boy right here.
Absolutely. That jersey's pumping me up.
Didn't like how he shot, the top target and then the bottom. But, each his own.
Now, what would you like to see from Murdoch over the course of the event?
Keep doing what he's doing. He's, rocking a solid run. He's not pushing anywhere to do anything where he can make big mistakes. I love the fact he's just going.
Yes, I've been shooting 20 years now. I love USPSA and IPSC matches. My leading up to this US Nationals, I've been shooting every weekend. I practice like 500 rounds per session, 2 to 3 times per week. This was my first stage. Started off okay, in this squad it's kind of stage, but apart from that it was good.
I like Mascar's entry into the last position. The actual posture of his...
He really jumped into that last position. I don't think it was faster, but I think it did make his accuracy of that position a little harder.
Okay.
And I don't think he meant to have his hips so much to the left. Yeah. And the only reason I kind of really point that out, I had a big time doing that same thing. Every time I went there, I was like, my hips, I couldn't really transition to that swinger. I thought that was more important to be square to that swinger.
And obviously, we could see an overlay that you are approximately like 6 to 8 inches forward and to the left of where he was. And I tell you, that pull was snug.
Yep. I had to really kind of do some shuffle with my feet to get set up there more so than most of the guys, I think. But I think that my transitions proved there. I had good quick transitions. That was a lot of why I got the stage.
I think there's training value for the viewers at home watching you decelerate into that position. Short, choppy steps, similar to any agility drill in sports, right?
Yep. Good for your knees. Here's Brian here. He's a guy I've been shooting with for a long time. Saving lines as a doctor. Good guy. His gun's older than Basilio over here.
I'm only 16 years old.
Well, his
Pretty
gun's
old.
still.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks solid. He walks into the final position to get in that low posture. What do you think about his tactic?
It's, I think he chose it because he felt comfortable doing it. And
I'm Brian Jones. I do this for fun, basically. I basically work as a doctor and try and get as much practice in my free time, but there's not much. First stage started out really tentative, so basically just trying to get into the flow of everything and get things a little bit more smooth later on in the match. So good start at least.
The good doctor said he's off to a good start, that he's had diminished practice time because he's busy saving lives. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy. I think he was comfortable doing this tactic. I just don't think it was the best tactic. Those transitions in the back here are costly. He shot him good. He executed the plan well. You can see right there just the start that I get on him. Just that jump.
Absolutely.
It wasn't worth 10 points.
That kilt is just pumping me up.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think it's possible to potentially get Travis in the kilt?
I think we could get that.
For those international audience that don't know, Travis Beal is potentially considering a wardrobe change. I think he's lost his sponsor at Bird Dogs and potentially go with a tactical kilt option.
Bet we're talking about a short kill.
A shorter kilt.
Yeah.
That's called a skirt, I think.
Yeah. He can pull it off.
And here we are, the man who should not be named.
He needs no introduction.
Absolutely not. I like his weight balance in the first position. Nuanced, but important. And I will tell you, I've watched his footage quite a bit, and it's interesting to see the minor differences between his delivery and your delivery that led to just a slight advantage for KC.
One thing that's awesome about him, he is actually very...
So this is our first stage show. Most of the time, first stage, you're super nervous. You got that adrenaline going, you got your heart pumping, so it's very difficult to kind of hone your senses down, but I try to use that, harness that, and use it to my advantage. This is a very technical stage. You had to hit all the positions. You got small steel at distance. I was able to go 1-for-1 on the steel, which is huge for this stage. We all decided to opt out and not shoot the drop turner, so that could save us time. We're calculating that it was going to be a higher hit factor stage. I think that was the right thing to do. My only issue with the stage is I shot one of the open targets in the middle on the move, and it cost me a miss. But luckily the time was fast enough. Hopefully I can outrun the points and it'll still be a good thing.
He really is very explosive coming out of that first position at the front there, if you will, to that A zone. He really got that first step he had with the load was a spot on. No makeup on the swinger. I mean, that was a big difference right there. He killed it.
Yeah, so he goes 1-for-1 on steel, which is obviously important, and he drops the mic in the middle position, and obviously the time to get up there. And I think guys need to appreciate, especially in open, this is the game. The game is all about the edge, right?
Well, I mean, if you see, he didn't even roll through that A zone. He went there and planted, and he still just crushed everybody. He planted on the A zone and then started off, and that was a sick run.
The Honorable Shannon Smith. Looking stout, ready to do it. That Air Pro looks like it's from 1960s.
He doesn't like change, guys. One thing Shannon's known for, though, is getting hits, not making mistakes.
Right, and, I think the amateur viewer might think, oh, there's a lack of urgency maybe to Shannon's delivery, but I will tell you that's a precision doctor, right? I mean, we want to talk about the MDs.
He's really getting that sight where he wants it every single time.
Sure, my name's Shannon Smith. I work here at Universal Shooting Academy. I'm one of the owners of the company. So it's kind of a big week for me. I'm stuck around making excuses. We put on the match, build the stages, do all that stuff for the last 2 weeks, and then trying to compete as well. I've a qualifier for the World Shoot, so I'm trying to make the World Shoot team again. First stage, it was okay. I had a miss. Everyone had a miss, especially on the first stage of the match. But it was a tough stage, difficult positions. Everybody's nervous. You got the jitters going on, and my time was okay. So get out there with one miss, not too bad. Get the match kicked off.
First of all, just want to say thanks to Shannon for having us, letting us be here has been a big deal. Now, what do you think about his performance?
I think he would like to have one of those shots back in the spring. I believe he ended up pulling one off. And his style is just to not win the stage in speed, but to be there every single step of the way in time and points. And if you're going to be a little slower in aiming, you got to have those hits on there. And he was aiming hard, but he still had one moving. It's a hard stage to start on.
I'd like to think of these things as, he has tournament equity, and part of his equity is his ability to deliver these consistent performances, right, regardless of the fluctuations. And that's important on these long matches.
Yeah, I mean, it's a club match 3 days in a row, and there's a lot of guys going to fall out.
Now, I heard a rumor you're shooting every day at Nationals. Is that true?
Unfortunately, it is true.
So how does it feel shooting something that long?
I don't know. We'll see. No one's ever done anything like this. So
Blake Miguez.
Yep, he's doing 9 days in a row too. So he's about as dumb as I am. Me and Blake go way back. I'm better at GoldenEye than he is. So
we actually have an interview.
No,
yeah.
Really? Does he say I'm better?
He contests that he might be better, but that's not here nor there. I notice, and now I'm going to get called out for this, the great one, Blake Miguez, he seems on the key to lose some acceleration, moving to the middle position while he's staring at the reload. Did you happen to notice that?
It's just like GoldenEye. He's trying to make it happen.
I've been shooting for many years. I started when I was under 18 years old, 12 years old. Shooting open in the division. I'm mainly a limited shooter now, but I'm out shooting open today, which you saw me shoot the course with. The course was it's our first one, so the first course is always rough. You're just trying to get a solid run. It went a little bit under my expectations. I had a lot of extra shots, kind of resulted from a bag grip coming out of the holster. But I salvaged it and made the best out of it. And at this point, when you have a run like that, you just got to suck it up, eat the time, eat the points, whatever your mistakes are, forget about it and move on throughout the match. Because you'll get warmed up at every stage you go, and you'll start getting to a comfort zone. It's always that first one, sort of like breaking ice. So that's where we are today. We got 2 more days of shooting after today, many more stages today, and I hope for the best and do the best results I can.
Now, Blake Miguez said he's an odd job player. Do you think it's unfair in GoldenEye to play odd job? No comment.
No comment. Blake's been around this a long time. He's got a lot of stuff going on. We're just happy to have him come out and shoot the game with us. And he's a former world champion in the standard division. And anytime he's out there on the range, if he's even remotely repaired, just side of the gun in, he's going to be competitive.
It's interesting to see the difference in your approach, also how it translates to your speed. You guys essentially passing on the same line, finishing nearly in the same spot.
We'll talk about the Clarks. It probably has something to do with it. What do you think?
It's a lineage. Here we are, Manny Bragg.
Most unorthodox shooter out here, guys.
Yeah.
He makes it happen, though.
I was hoping he'd shoot in his hat. The straw hat, that is.
He wasn't that far in the sun today.
Now, Shannon Smith is filming. I know there was concern from Mike Foley, like, hey, can Shannon film on his range or not? I'm glad they sorted it out.
No comment on that either. It was a good run, but I think it cost him too much to hit that active.
Okay, well, let's see. Started shooting back in the 90s, like 96. I don't think Chris was even born back then. And so it's 25 years. Been teaching for the last almost 20 years. And now I'm at a range up New Smyrna Beach, and we host 20 matches a month at our range. And so this is my old home range, but the last stage was not too bad. This one here was not too good. So, you know, you take the 2 average, then it's just average.
Thank you, Manny.
I think it was a well-executed plan. I think that the tactic was just a little slower.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I mean, you and I feel the wear and tear on our body at our age, and you know, it's not out of disrespect. It's really an honorable thing to have aged and stay in the sport for so long, right? But it takes a toll.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, these guys have actually, they're still keeping up with themselves. I mean, they're out there being competitive all around the world. You know.
Well, dude, absolutely. I mean, if you sleep on it, he's gonna catch it.
That's right. He's not slow by any means. I think just the confidence, too, of not caring that, you know, he's not doing the same thing everyone else is one of Manny's biggest, you know, tools in the bag to really use. And sometimes it works out and he crushes people. Sometimes it doesn't help him at all.
Yeah, he's playing and winning a different game.
Yeah. A lot of people are scared to venture out on their own like that.
Jessie from Metagroup getting ready to burn it down.
Yeah, she had a good run here. She was shooting pretty good today. It was really impressive to me how she's sticking right there with a lot of the boys.
Now I have to say, one thing I've noticed about Jessie's shooting, she does a lot of accessory movement when generating acceleration, and I honestly think it slows her down.
Point that out to me here. Let me see it.
You'll see it coming up in this first position.
So I think the stage went well for me. This is the first stage of the match, so I was
a little step.
nervous. So I was just trying to focus on seeing my dot, focus on my trigger press, and just have a good first stage. I feel like it went well. I went 1 for 1 on the steal, which is always important. Had good hits on targets that I was moving on. My cylinder was good. So my time was probably a little bit off of where I would want it to be. Definitely off the pace for the rest of these guys. But this is my first time shooting on the men's super squad at a national. So there's a lot of nerves that go with that. But I feel comfortable with my first stage for the match. And hopefully it'll be a good score to hold up.
Yeah, I get what you're saying on pointing it out to me there. So that first step kind of explode out of there. It looks like she gets caught to load that weight. I think it's just a strength thing. I think if she gets a little stronger, I think it's an upper body. Just pulling your upper body forward.
I agree. She's generating a lot of torque from the lower body, which is great. She just needs to move the center of mass a little over the toes to prevent that backwards looping action to get started. But overall, I'd say her stage plan's great. She's obviously training a lot.
Yep. It was a good stage for her. She shot well, good points.
She does seem to favor a weight bias on her left foot when given the option. Not that it matters, everyone has these nuances. Well, it has been quite the first stage. Oof. We have more stages done. Actually, all the stages. No sleep till Brooklyn. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Kemble. This was
Chris Tilly.
And you just watched Super Grand Champ.